Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up, guys. Good morning. It's Thursday. We've made it over the hump, and we're on the tail end side. And tonight we've got a game going on, so we'll be watching some Thursday night football as we get ready to take on the Green Bay Packers. That's always a tough battle. Aaron Rodgers is known as Mr. October. That's the best month of his career is always in October. And he's been a Dallas Cowboy killer. I think we've only had a couple of wins against him. So it's always going to be a tough one. But today, this morning, I want to start off with something a little different because, we kind of beat that to death so far. I actually want to look back a quarter way into the season and actually give credit where credit's due. Because here's the thing with football. Football, back in the day, Tom Landry ended up finding players where nobody else had found. Bob Gold Hayes, he ended up getting a track star and making him a wide receiver, and he's now in the Hall of Fame. The Cowboys went to small schools and black colleges and things, finding talent where other people did. Because in the end, you can have great schemes and stuff. But if you have the personnel, if I have a guy who can beat the guy in front of me, you will win more times than not. In the NFL season being 16 games, I know the NFL wants to go to 18 or 17, or they just want some more games because they want more money. Understand, it is a marathon. And more times than not, it's the team that has the depth to make it through that season, that still has healthy bodies, that ends up winning it all. You can look at New England over the years, and every time I bring up New England and try and compare what the Cowboys are trying to do by emulating them, they say, you can't compare the Cowboys to New England. I'm not saying the Cowboys are New England, but they're trying to get more New England-esque. Because look at New England over the years. New England never leads the NFL in Pro Bowlers. Very rarely. Usually they might have three or four Pro Bowlers on the team, whereas our Cowboys, we'll have seven, eight, nine, 10, sometimes 13 Pro Bowlers. How is it that that team continually wins Super Bowls without Pro Bowlers? It's really simple because it's not about having a team of all stars where you've got six or seven or eight of them. It's about having about 30 guys that all play roles. That you're not reliant on just one guy other than Tom Brady. You're reliant on multiple ones. You can look back at our 2017 season. The first half of the season, we started out like gangbusters. Dak Prescott was actually in the conversation for MVP. But then, once Tyron Smith got hurt, once Sean Lee got hurt, once Zeke got suspended, we didn't have guys that were capable backups to step in. And so the amount of play went downhill. Now, that's the case in most teams. There's holes all over the field on everybody's team. And some teams, of course, will look and say, because they're not drafting well, because that's the key. You need to draft well and add free agents to help supplement that. You can't build a team on free agents, Redskins. The Redskins every year are always the off-season champions where they're out grabbing the big name free agents instead of paying boatloads of money. And as you look at free agency, because the Cowboys, they may not have won much in the playoffs, but you can't argue with the teams that they're putting on the field, the talent they've put on the field. They've got the talent. It's a matter of now doing something with it. Cowboys have drafted better than anybody else. When you look at it, and I know we just got rid of Taco, and people will say, well, that was a waste of first round pick. But take a look at the Redskins and the Giants, where their first round picks are. They're gone. Some of them aren't even in the league anymore. We have 10 first round picks on our roster right now. 10. It's amazing. Or maybe it's 9 after Taco left. But either way, you still have a lot of them. But what the Cowboys have done is you could almost look and say the Cowboys, they kind of won in free agency in comparison to some teams. I know our Cowboy faithful, the first week of free agency, you guys killed the Cowboys. Oh my God, the Cowboys, as long as we got Jerry Jones, we're never going to be anything. They don't want to get better. They're not going out there and getting those big free agents. They're not. They don't care. They're stupid. Why aren't we getting Earl Thomas? Why aren't we going for a Le'Veon Bell? Let's get that guy. Oh, Antonio Brown. Let's go get guys like that. Make moves like that. Well, here's the thing with Le'Veon Bell right now. Le'Veon Bell, 56 carries for 163 yards, 2.9 per carry. That's a whole lot of money for that. Nick Foles, he's out in Jacksonville. It's a whole lot of money for Nick Foles. Kirk frickin' Cousins. They're having buyer's remorse on Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, 7.4 yards per completion, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for 735 yards. They're thinking we got to draft a quarterback next year, and they're still on the chain for $29 million. You think about the Redskins signing Collins, Landon Collins. How much does that help? Or you can even go back with Josh Norman. How much does that help that team? Earl Thomas, 16 tackles, 1 interception. Not bad, but he's on pace for 64 tackles and 4 interceptions for the year. For $13 million? Hmm. Now I want you to think about the Cowboys. We may have the best free agent in the NFL. It's only been 2 games because he was suspended for the first 2. But when you think about what Robert Quinn has done thus far, Robert Quinn, 3 sacks, leads the Cowboys more than DeMarcus Lawrence, who has 2.5. In 2 games, 3 sacks, 6 tackles, and 11 quarterback pressures. You multiply that out by a season, and that's not to say he will get that, but he's on pace for 21 sacks, 42 tackles, and 77 quarterback pressures. And here's the thing that's going to be incredible. If he does continue on this pace, one of 2 things will happen. The Dallas Cowboys will re-sign him to a boatload of money, in which case you've got a guy who's aging but is a hell of a pass rusher. Or 2, he'll go elsewhere and sign a big fat contract, and you'll get about a number 3, a third round draft pick for him. It's a win. And when you think that he's getting about $7 million a year for 1 year, that's a winner chicken dinner. He has been absolutely positively unstoppable thus far. And what he's going to do is he will make everybody else across that line better. When DeMarcus Lawrence finally gets his legs completely back and that shoulder, now he's got the other one a little nicked. Between the 2 of them being bookends, that is going to be hellacious. It makes you think to yourself, Randy Gregory, who? He's been that good. That was a bargain basement, although that was technically a trade. Think about Kerry Hayter, who's playing in the rotation. Kerry Hayter, another guy, peanuts. Thus far, he's had 8 quarterback pressures and 4 tackles. That's on pace for about 18 tackles and 32 quarterback pressures. Not bad for a guy that you got on the cheap. And then you got Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb, another guy, 1-year contract on the cheap. Currently, let me pull up his stats. Currently for this year, he's on pace for 56 receptions and about 650 yards and 4 TDs. Thus far, 14 receptions, 157 yards, and 1 TD. So you look at those 3 moves right now for the Dallas Cowboys. That is getting guys that are playing roles that are, well, not just playing roles, they're playing lights out in the case of Robert Quinn, but guys that are helping your team not only with playing on the field, but also with depth. Because, see, here's the thing for the Cowboys. We've lost Michael Gallup for a couple weeks already, but our wide receiver core really didn't skip a beat. Now, we're hurting now because Amari Cooper, his foot, of course, was a little off, and you can see he couldn't get a separation. Um, you're seeing that Tyron Smith is hurt, and you see that we got Cam Fleming that's going in. Depth is what is going to allow you to continue to function. And the Cowboys are one of the deeper teams in the NFL. We'll see how well it goes as the rest of the season goes in. Nobody can weather a mass extinction of injuries. That's not extinction. We shouldn't say extinction, but a rash of injuries to a point. But the Cowboys are better suited because they have found players at a reasonable cost that fit the system that are still capable. Not everybody's able to do that one. And this is one of the reasons why you look at the Cowboys and say that they have the opportunity to maybe make the playoffs and go on a run. Some people will disagree with me, but we'll see. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, I got to go get to my day job. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. I'll see you soon.